Uh, Welcome to the Garden City Parks and Rec meeting on Tuesday, June 5th? 25th? 25th. I'd like to stand for Pledge of Allegiance. Do we have a flag?
No.
We do not.
Should we bypass it?
I think we bypassed it last time. Is that
We did
permissible?
we did at the workshop.
We bypassed it at the workshop because we did not have a flag.
Okay.
I think we bypassed it because it wasn't a formal meeting.
Right. Oh, that was
But-
the other thing too.
Yeah, but, if everyone's in agreement, we can, so we don't have a flag,
We're fine.
okay? I will take roll. Sue McFadden, present. Dennis Kaplensky. Sharon Parkla. Don Jones.
Here.
Robert Smith. Jennifer O'Connell.
Here.
Dennis Allison, who's not on board anymore. and Kate Smith.
So we're actually down 2 without Dennis, right? God,
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were down 2. I thought we were back full.
I have a couple people that maybe within the city that I could look into asking to.
Well, I'll bring this up later. Okay, so we're on to approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. And we also have the approval of the May 28th regular scheduled meeting and the June 11th workshop meeting. Do we do these separately, or do you want to do these together?
I mean, does anybody see any changes that they want made on either one of them?
I just had a quick question from the June meeting.
The workshop?
Yeah, workshop. I see the list that we made of all the parks with the money. Is this gonna be available to the public to see?
I mean, it is available to the public
'Cause it's.
in our minutes
Okay.
here. Yeah, I mean,
Just wondering for those who might.
yeah, who are skeptical of
Yeah.
what this is, yeah. And I mean,
They
as
wanna
we
know.
know, this is the, proposed budget.
Yeah, it's
But
a
it will
working
be,
document.
this will be at all of the workshops or the events. I plan to bring it and share, what was worked on. But it is available online by link,
So people can find the budget online in our minutes if they would like to.
And there will also be a handout at our meeting, at our park meetings. So I have a
And
motion.
the hope would be, just to add to that, is like following some of the outreach and taking in some of the input, we could then revise or develop it further and then put it on that website.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
just
so-
so it's made aware though that the budget that we've made is just a tentative, we just threw out some numbers for each of the parks. It's not a firm, this is how much is going to be spent at each park. It's just kind of our wish list.
Yeah.
So if we could spend more at some parks, less at other parks, it all just depends upon what the final numbers are of what we have and what is decided happens to each park. So can I have a motion to approve the
I'll make a
minutes?
motion to approve both.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Presentations, we have none. Public hearing, we don't have any. Public comment. To agenda items, since I see no public except for Commissioner Witt, of course.
You got anything you want to say? All right.
We go to item for consideration versus old business, which is the Garden City Parks bond.
Well, I will just share that you all have seen the FAQ was finalized and shared. The informational events have all been shared. There was the recommendation to council that did not end up in the packet. Just to follow up on that, it went in a separate memo because I guess communications are handled a little differently. It wasn't an action item, but that was shared with council. Our First event is Thursday at Florence Park. Again, it is, I know there's some confusion. It is, we may be promoting the event, which is about information and education on the bond. It's to share some of those initial numbers. I know I will be bringing the master plan. I think someone had mentioned at some point having like a blank board for people to put some fun ideas or thoughts that they had, maybe for that specific park. So I think I'll bring a board that's like, you know, what's your wish list? And maybe we'll put some of the things we've talked about on there to get people thinking.
That's fun, I like that.
Yeah, and then we can either bring it from park to park or add to it and just sort of see. And obviously, we don't know how interested people are going to be, but I think that's part of our exercise is to put ourselves out there and invite people to come and talk to us and learn about, you know, what the bond is and the projects that, you know, have been the needs and wants that have been identified. So that's really what it's about. Yes, there will be some lawn games there. I think maybe some of that sounded really fun and we're getting criticized for that. We are parks, so we'll bring some of that stuff, but it really is an information share with the community. So I am looking for someone to help with our Cola Park, a commissioner. If you're able to join on, that one is scheduled for July 16th. That's a Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. If you're interested and available, you can reach out to me or
Everyone's looking at Mr. Jones.
Because-
He's shrinking.
I'm highly.
He's shrinking.
because I mean, I can do it by myself, but I think having a Parks and Recreation Commissioner is a
When
nice.
is it?
It is, yeah, Tuesday, July 16th,
And that's between
6 and 7.
I'll come.
Yeah, okay, great. And that's really all I have to add on that. I don't know if you guys want to talk about anything else.
I do have a comment, though. I read the documents that you were submitting to council, and I just want to make you aware that the document from the 5-year plan is actually from the previous 5-year plan. We didn't do another town hall meeting with the citizens, what do you want in your parks, when we did the last 5-year plan. That's
We did.
from,
Yeah, we did.
Here, right?
Yeah, you guys
We
did. I've seen
did?
photos of it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a
In
great
this room.
turnout.
but it wasn't.
It wasn't a great turnout.
Right, but
That's
I don't
fair.
think it was as big. I still think that most of the stuff that's on there is from the initial
Most of it's a
5-year,
carryover
from
from
the
It
5-year
is.
plan.
From the-
Because it
from
hadn't
years
been
ago.
done.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
We just didn't have the funds to do that, so that's why this bond is going to be very helpful for, you know, to knock out a lot of these things so that we don't have to, again, do another 5-year plan.
That looks exactly the same.
That looks the same.
Right.
Because
So-
we haven't done anything.
I mean, we got a grant,
we
but
got-
a grant, as you all know, I mean, that was 5 years and, you know, just went in. So it's like, if we literally waited for grants, our kids would be having kids, we would never see these parks done. So having this type of a bond is going to be huge and beneficial for everyone, like, you know, now, so.
Grants are great for one
They are,
project, but
yeah.
not for
Right.
the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've only
Yeah.
got one grant in that time. Anyway, but my point was just to let you know where the majority of the wish list came from. And the majority of it came from 10 years ago.
And it's pretty much the citizens that made
That made that list, yeah, absolutely.
Because I can remember the 10-year meeting we did have. Dennis, remember the 10-year? It was at Maplewood.
Yeah, that
there
was a good
That was a
turnout,
good
yeah.
We had a
turnout.
great turnout.
Yeah,
But
we
the
had
Ma-
a good turnout.
and
Yeah.
we had it at Maplewood. It was a great turnout.
Yeah.
A lot of people gave us
Yeah.
feedback, and the majority of that, I'm gonna say everything that's in there was from the people.
Right, yeah,
10
I think
years
so
ago.
too. Absolutely.
And sometimes what happens, if they gave all that feedback and nothing happened, then when it's time to ask for more feedback, people are not as interested because
Right.
you haven't come through on it. So I think it's really important to deliver on, even if that's old. I mean, I think that's why we're
Mhm.
checking to make sure these are still the things that are important, right?
Right, and that was the other
But-
thing we asked, whoever put this together, we asked them,
Okay.
could you give us a list of what was accomplished? And it was pretty much
Yeah.
a goose egg, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be
Yeah.
nice to see some of those things accomplished, but I do agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that when you ask people for their input and
Yeah.
then they're
You
not
don't do
seeing
anything with it.
anything come about with it. They're like, well, why did I waste my time?
Exactly.
But their time wasn't wasted because we're still
finances weren't there, basically.
Right, exactly. I mean, we're still trying our best to do what we can.
Yeah, that's right.
Because if you think about it, we got hit with the COVID in that,
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
that period too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just glad that we did another 5-year plan. So, okay, does anybody else have anything about the bond? Okay, moving on. City Park Playground Addition recommendation.
Okay, so I apologize that you didn't get the first thing in the packet. So as you know, the $75,000 was sent on to you guys to make a selection to enhance the playground, because I know you had to sacrifice some stuff.
From the county.
Yep, the $75,000 from the county. As part of their, I think it's their parks millage, right? So, you guys had, I think, looked at a few things before, and Ventura, or no, have you looked at anything from them? I'm not exactly sure.
I think so. It sounds familiar.
Okay, because I
Yeah.
think this was an original structure, and if you
Yeah.
got the price thing, you know, it's like 35,000 for this, and then all the installation and all the other things,
Mhm.
like, take up the rest of that money. But when we were asking for an update from Ventura, they threw in a few other options, so obviously I'm just sharing those with you to see if you guys wanted to make that selection tonight.
So just choose from one of these, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically,
Okay.
because if you, the second page with the proposal on it, like the first
Oh.
item is the big ticket item,
Yeah.
and then, there's the Bobble Rider is still on there. I think that was one that was on the original plan and got taken off. It's
So
just, it could
basically
go
on
right in
the-
the middle of the play chip area.
Okay, so basically the first item is the first page, correct?
Yeah.
Then where is item 2?
They're not in there. So this quote is kind
in
of
other
running
words-
us through, if you did option this one. So if you're like,
So basically, the only thing that we can look at is
Prices.
changing the first one.
the first one is what we can look at, right?
No, you can look at any of these if you
No, no, but
prefer
I'm
something like
saying
that.
price-wise.
Oh, yes.
The only thing that's available is this, and there's no pictures of any, well, some of the other stuff, it's not a big deal. The double bobble rider.
Yeah, so there's like a sign that you have to have, that's part of, like playground code, is to have a sign of like what age it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Then the rest is like the timbers around, it,
Yeah, we don't need to see pictures of that stuff.
yeah, and I mean, obviously the installation is a huge cost.
Well, I looked at this and there's two things that I liked. I liked the design on the back page, but I also liked the train because, you know, it's not as, doesn't have the wow factor as much, but I think we need something
It
for
spreads it
the
out,
younger
maybe.
kids. I
Yeah.
just think we need something for the
What do you think?
children.
What do you think out of these?
It's hard to just pick one.
I
know.
And,
It is, but I think.
We can always add to it. Now that we have prices, this is good.
yes.
So,
Who installed the playscape at City Park? Was it DP?
Ventura,
Oh,
yeah.
if it's just something small, is that something maybe DPW could do?
Like the freestanding play
Yeah,
thing?
like that.
Yeah, or.
Yeah, I mean, I do
so-
wonder, I wondered that myself, like, would that cut down on the install? Because looks like you're just putting it on wood chips, but I do think that they're permanently fixed, but I can certainly ask.
I would
like-
think they would be
Like, does
too.
that influence, it's not gonna change,
Fixed to the ground somehow, just like the police.
yeah.
Yeah.
You right?
But I like
Yeah.
this thing, with Sue, I do like the big thing, I think it's probably the biggest, the very last page. No, that's the biggest piece, maybe, but then I do, it's just so hard.
Yeah, but do we have anything,
I
do
love
we have
that.
anything out for the 2 to 5 year old range? I mean, because if you want to look at it, it looks to me like.
oh yeah, do we, I guess.
Most of them are
what-
5 to 12.
Yeah.
There's one that's 2 to 12, and then you have the 2 to 5. So you're really not covering a big age group, but do we already have something that covers that age
We
group?
do get the new stuff that's put out there. You can put 2-year-olds in that, you can put
Yeah.
in swings out there at the park.
Is
And
there
there is
anything
a-
they can do by themselves?
Yes, there's one structure geared for that age group. It has like a slide, you climb up.
Yeah.
one structure, yeah, and then the other one is for older kids.
I was there the other day and I saw some 2-3-year-olds. They had their parents with them, they were going all over.
I hate to say this, but I drive down Ford Road and there's another city and their play structure is just humongous and gorgeous and there is just like 50 people every night on these things. I mean, I would love to have something so huge that you can see it like that, that all these people are just going
If you see
there.
what this, one is 35,000, imagine how much that costs.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, I agree, I agree.
I have a question. This wheelchair
Yeah.
accessibility, does that do something, or is it just you wheel it up and then, I was trying to see if it moves or,
I think it does.
Yeah, it's
It
a
does
sway, yeah, so I think it goes side to side.
okay. And it says it fits multiple chairs. Okay.
Do we have anything for,
Handicap.
I would like to see this in one of the parks involved in the bond, somewhere, at least 1 or 2 pieces of wheelchair accessibility.
Yeah.
I think we should theme a whole park.
That would be awesome.
Like a
Arcola-
universal access?
Arcola
Yeah.
Park would be perfect.
Wouldn't it?
Make it
would.
the handicap,
I thought they
says
didn't have the
everything.
parking though.
They
Is
don't
that?
have the
they don't have the
but-
parking, but.
They have on-street parking, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you think about handicap, they definitely need access to a parking and
Yeah,
Right.
easy.
accessible parking.
Yeah.
It'd probably require the pour in place
Yeah,
surface.
but at least if this doesn't make the cut for a park, city park, that's okay, but I would just like to see this
Yeah.
at one of, if the bond passes, that we do.
Well, if we're gonna
that.
expand Rotary, we might be able to do it. And the part we're expanding to.
Yeah. Either way, at least I like that we have costs. I like that we have
Yes.
a
Right.
visual.
I'd get us like a
cost.
catalog too.
Yeah,
I mean, these places
Yeah.
have catalogs.
Yeah.
You don't always get the prices.
Right, yeah.
And then sometimes the prices, you think, oh, that's good,
It
until you
changes.
see the
Yes.
rest of the stuff that goes with
yeah.
it.
And I know it's another, $15,000 just for the install of what this is, sometimes that's expensive.
Right.
But yeah, this was just nice, a graphic to see, so.
So question, if we were to take item 1 and make it the item on the back page with the freestanding, that would probably free up about $5,000. Is there something else that we could add to this?
Yeah, I mean,
With
we have
that?
75,000, so if you come
Right,
back
'cause
and
I'm
you say,
looking,
we
we're-
want this one, then I go back to
We're
them.
6,000 short now. If we put this one in, that would bring us back another 5. Now you're talking another 11,000. What more could we get for this plus another 11,000?
Yeah, I don't know, I
Right.
can ask.
But the other, yeah, you could ask that, but I think what's gonna happen is probably installation charges are gonna go up because if you're adding $10,000 more equipment,
What do you figure?
And then, I mean, this was in March, and she told me, if you can get it in right away, I'll honor the 2024 prices, otherwise, you're gonna get the increase in the prices. I'm like, okay.
Thank you.
did she give you an idea, was it like 3 to 5%? or
Yeah,
was
it
it
was-
7 to 10 or?
Well, I
12?
tried to get an updated quote, because I'm like, can you tell, like, I need to know what, like, don't give me, kind of that misinformation. She's like, well, if you can, hurry up, if we can get it in quicker, because the other thing is, these companies are so behind with their orders, right? All of this federal money that came out,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why it
they
took so long
can't,
for them.
put in playgrounds fast enough right now. So she told us it's like 6 months from the time we place the order. And then later she said, well, depending on what you get, it could go faster because it's kind of a smaller standalone. So, but the hope would be we can, make a decision tonight, or at least get some direction that I could get confirmation from them and then pass along, your recommendation to council to approve it, so then we can place the order.
Yeah, with the installation gives us a good idea about it's gonna be about $20,000 to install
Yeah.
whatever what we have.
Yeah.
So should we,
So,
do you want
Sharon-
to take a vote on?
Well, wait a minute, Sharon?
You
Wait
know
a
what,
minute,
I'd
wait.
make, sure, go
Wait,
ahead.
Sharon, I haven't heard you say anything about what your preference is,
As far as.
any of these items.
I mean, I like zip line, but, that, I also like the idea of getting something for younger kids too. Because you've got the one there that's 2 to 12, that would incorporate little kids all the way to 12.
The only thing, my personal thought on the zip line is I think it's great and I think it'll be utilized for a while when we first get it, but then I don't know if it will be utilized as much as some of the other
What do you
ones.
mean the train?
No, she was saying, Sharon was saying she liked the zip line one.
Oh, the zip line?
Yeah, and so, I mean, but that's just my personal thought. What about you, Dennis? I haven't heard you say what you're looking at.
Well, I like Quantus A or 2 or 3, either one.
Okay.
You like the one on the front or which one?
Either one, there's one on the back. It's just a little bit of different design.
The one, okay, so the first 2 pages? Oh, you're talking about this one?
The front and the back?
No, yeah, he's talking about the first 2 pages, yeah,
Oh,
Okay, so this is
And
going
that-
at City Park, right?
right.
Yeah.
And Robert, what about you?
The one on the back.
The one in the back?
I like the zip line or the one on the back. That's my vote.
Now, this
I can
one
go
is
with that.
like adult
one
fitness.
on the
Do
back.
we, the only thing I would say is, isn't there an adult fitness over
There
there?
is an adult, there's a.
But it's different, I mean.
It's a circuit, it's a
The circuit training.
Mhm.
And I think it's kind of like a obstacle-y thing, right? I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
so I don't think
And
it's,
the other thing with that, you need twice as much space as you do together. Look at the board.
But did you see that big?
but they do have, there is space.
Yeah. There's a big,
That's true, there's
did
lots
you
of
see the
space.
big?
Room for growth. Like you said,
Field
Sue,
there,
we're
like the
going
dirt?
big.
No, the one in the back
Go
is
big.
68 or 70 feet. When the other ones, you only need,
How big is that?
I don't know.
There's a lot of dirt there.
I would like to make a motion to either go with the one on the front or the one on the back.
Well, you have to make a motion to go with one or the other.
Those are my 2 choices. I'm gonna go for
you
the
can't-
one on the back.
Okay,
All right.
I
No,
will
no,
go,
but I'm saying
somebody-
we should say, okay,
I will go with the one on the back too.
All right, all right.
Oh,
so-
I will make
all right,
I'll make a
let's take
motion to go with the one on the back.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
All opposed?
And just to clarify,
Go
when you
ahead.
say on the back, we're talking about
This-
design ID 6166.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Make sure.
Dennis?
I already said, I like the one on the front, so I'd say,
So you oppose?
I did.
Okay,
Okay.
You're okay?
motion carries.
Can you?
All right, so you'll look and see how much it'll cost. I'm
I
sorry.
know.
Just
Yep.
for fun, will you maybe
Where would
see
you put it?
how much another
Yeah,
swing
but where?
structure would be?
Like the posts and a
Yes,
individual
just
swing?
'cause there's only 2, and I've been hearing that a lot from residents, like more swings, more swings.
More swings.
So. maybe
I'll
if there's
definitely
just
ask.
A little bit left
I'll
over.
ask for a revision, like an accurate quote, because we could at least get, depending on what a swing is, we could add a bobble rider, or maybe there's like a singular plaything, like just the caboose or something, to fill in that amount. So I'll do that.
That would be marvelous, that would be great, because like John said, you need to point out there will be there'll be funds left over that we can
Yeah.
do ad hoc pieces to.
Right, because you're gonna have to ask them, this may turn out to be more than 69,000 now, since we've waited, because you said this was in March.
Right.
Now it's July.
But this is.
The question
cheaper.
is this gonna be feasible size-wise for the park?
Yes.
Okay,
The park has a lot
All
of
right.
space.
Go big.
Real quick before we move on. I watched the council meeting yesterday and I saw the man that got up and spoke about City Park, and he said he really liked it and there's a lot of kids playing on it. I do agree with him though that the dirt is messy, it's getting on the path, and then the mulch. I don't know if you noticed, Dennis, when you were there, but the mulch is just all over.
I already mentioned it.
So,
You just have to
yes,
get out
that
there
is gonna
and
be
blow
a
it back
constant
on
maintenance
every day.
issue. I know the park attendants do go out there with a blower. I don't know if it's every day, but it's gonna that is a really big challenge when you have wood chips next to that pouring
And
place.
you have all.
can we use
playing
mulch
there.
glue or not?
Mulch
I don't
glue?
even know what that is, but
Me either.
It's
You
so
should
cool.
like a binder.
You should
Yes,
look-
it's
no,
so nice.
all
Eh,
it's a true thing. Look it up sometimes.
Mulch
It's
glue?
mulch glue.
Okay.
What it is it's actually glue and water mixed, and you spray it on the mulch to keep it in place.
Find it, yeah.
To bind it in place.
So if the bond passes going forward, I think we should keep it either all the mulch, or
Yeah.
all pour in place.
I totally agree with you. Every time I've seen the combo, this occurs.
Hey, John, with the mulch, was that used in mulch that you use in landscaping, or do they,
Yes, it's used in landscaping, and it's also used for pea gravel
the
too.
kid if you use it playground?
So playground mulch is engineered wood chips, and you do want to be careful when you're putting a chemical mixture into an area that kids are. So
That's-
I would be
that's what
hesitant, I would have to really look into that, like, are people actually using that in playgrounds? Because you have toddlers putting stuff in their mouth, so
Yes.
you just want to be careful with that. But wood chips in playgrounds are typically a different product than a wood chip you see in the, they're designed to have more fluff to them. It's all about
Mulch,
impact
yeah.
and surface from
It's used for
falling.
mulch and pea gravel.
If you already have the pour in place, can you add more pour in place next to it, or is it all?
To fill in the wood chips, you mean, or?
Yeah,
Pour in place is very expensive.
okay.
Yeah, but then you have to worry too about the kids tripping on it, if it's in between all the playground equipment.
I mean, the pour in place is great because it's accessible, right? And sometimes what happens is you combine it with wood chips to make it more affordable, because if that whole thing were pour in place, we'd have even less play equipment.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's
right.
just really challenging.
But other
But,
than that, it looks very
but,
nice.
but I mean, like a daily, it probably needs like to be daily, hit with the blower to kind, but the other challenge is we have to go very early, because if you go by 9 AM, it's packed.
Or
so-
very late because.
Or, yeah,
Only you.
Yeah.
yeah, so,
That's why you
but,
guys keep me
we
around.
were talking about that
But
today.
it's just something you have to deal with. I mean, the kids are out there playing, they're gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so, moving on.
Okay.
Commission uniform guidelines.
All right, I'm gonna pass along just my draft. So
This is gonna be.
I worked really hard to get you guys these polo shirts, and,
I will have
you know.
Very nice, by the way.
Yeah, and you didn't need to wear them tonight, but
I
I
wanted
thought, I wanted to go over with all of you, and, you guys can give input here on this. The idea is like when people join our commission, they would receive this information and when you get your shirt, right? So the whole idea is, I think it's important for you guys to have a shirt that identifies you as a park
We said
commissioner. Tonight, I was hoping we would have your name tags ready, but they're not ready till Thursday. So that will have your name on it, and it'll say Parks and Recreation Commission.
Can I ask
So-
a question?
Yeah,
Is it pin or magnet?
it's a magnet,
Excellent, thank you.
yeah.
I hate pins.
Yeah, and so the idea is when we're at a grand opening, or when you're in the role of a volunteer and in a park commissioner hat, to be recognizable and to be visible,
So when you're doing your park surveys,
Yeah, or when we're out, you mean like at the information events?
no.
Well,
when I say
no.
park
When you're
survey-
doing, yeah, okay, when you're going out and doing your audits or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, when we go out
Yeah.
and do our audits, that would be the perfect time.
Yeah, yeah. So the idea is you're recognizable, and it's, here, what did I say? Yeah, you're representing the Parks Department. And so, one of the concerns is, if all the commissioners have these, there's a responsibility when you're wearing a city shirt, which is true, right? Because all of us as staff,
We're
we have
adults.
uniform guidelines. So the note here is really just remember, like, the shirt should be worn for if you want to choose to wear it to a meeting, any kind of grand opening, any sort of outreach event where you're acting in the role as the park
Like Lucky
commissioner.
Squirrel or anything
Right.
like that, if you go to that? I mean, would you go that far?
Yeah.
Lucky Squirrel.
I don't even know what that is.
No, not.
Oh, no,
It's not our event though.
Right.
It would have to be an event, so it's not so
Okay.
much, like, definitely not when you're
Bacon
going
run.
out and doing something social.
Bacon run?
Bacon run.
Yeah, yeah, any kind of event where you're in the role as a volunteer. But, if you go to an event and then afterwards you go out to dinner, or you want to have a drink, that's where you need to take the shirt or do it inside out. So that's kind of a standard rule for any of us who work for government, because this is saying, I'm representing the city or I'm representing parks. So, that's what I want to make sure that I'm clear on, so that we don't, you
So
know.
you can't go to sports venue and have a cocktail in this, that's what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying,
That's what
yes,
you're saying.
yes.
All
And
right.
None of, I think this is all common sense, but, you know, we are in government, and so I wanted to say that we do have a guideline that when you join the commission, when you get a shirt. So if there's anything, yeah, so the city apparel should be worn when you're acting on behalf of Garden City or the Parks Department. Obviously, treating others with respect and behaving in a professional manner are really important when representing the city as well. So, if you're feeling really argumentative or something, then maybe not wear the shirt out to the park, you know. Yeah, and if you're not acting in a volunteer role, then
So what's your-
don't wear that shirt at that time. So does that all make sense?
That does.
Any other additions or thoughts to this?
I like the fact that you initiated this. When I was on Parks in a different city, we all had, and it said the city, it said Parks and Rec Commission.
Yeah.
You knew, so people knew who you were. I mean, and there were a lot of events, and you went to the events, and
Yeah.
you knew the people, and they knew who you were, but it didn't matter. You approach people differently
Yeah,
when you're accountable.
that's right.
So, thank you.
And I mean, especially being in parks at this time where there's a lot of interest in what's going on, there's a bond, there's engagement events, there's a lot of times we're just in the community, right? You're attending events or grand openings, like that sort of thing. You know, it doesn't mean you need to wear it every time, so if you're going with your family to, you know, the Easter egg hunt, you don't need to wear that unless you're kind of like, I'm gonna volunteer and I wanna do something, you know, so. But, okay, well, that was it on that. If, you know, you think of something else, let me know. I'll finalize this and it'll just go in our welcome packet for new commissioners.
I like that. And I just, there it is. I just messed up my agenda. Okay, so, public comments. General non-agenda items.
We don't have any public comment.
Nope, all right.
So much fun.
You were told not to? Oh, boy. Boy, did you get the evil eye.
Moving on.
She was looking right at you, so I knew.
No, let her go.
Okay, so, for the, financial reports, yes. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, you got May program.
Made money.
You guys correct me up. So I see no questions.
I assume that arena concessions, the expenses were greater because you got some more.
What is the senior center staffing grant?
Let me see.
First page.
I believe this is the grant that covers the 2 instructors that do the arthritis Tai Chi and there's maybe arthritis yoga.
At the painting, the senior painting, the one lady there had to had to fill out forms because she says it goes toward her grant.
Okay.
For these, the painting
And the painting class too.
Oh,
Acrylic and the watercolor painting.
So that, like, I know that program with the 2 classes for sure, that's why it's a donation only. Like, it is paid for, like, we receive a grant and then we pay those instructors.
was it a matching grant?
No.
Okay.
It's a,
It's not that much, so, I mean,
yeah, it's not a huge amount, but I mean, it makes a difference. It allows us to offer a class that is basically free or pay what you can. And they're well attended. What was the other question somebody asked me?
Dennis.
The arena concession, it looks like.
Oh, yeah,
moving
I saw that
expenses more
too.
than-
Well, I would imagine there's certain months where the supplies are, you're investing and,
And it looks like you got a big payment from GCHA, the hockey.
yeah.
probably their last one.
Yeah. We like those.
Yeah. Does anyone else have anything regarding financials? Okay. Upcoming events and programs.
Well, you all, I already announced Thursday, June 27th, from 6 to 7 p.m. Myself and Sharon will be at Florence Park. July 17th is our next Movie in the Park event. Last month did get rained out, sadly, after we had started it. But it was nice. We had a good crowd and
There was
people
quite a
got
few
some ice
people
cream.
there.
And this one will be at City Park, Kung Fu Panda 4. Then I noticed the grand opening of City Park is not on this little upcoming events, but that is July 21st, as is the Park Bond information events at City Park and Moeller. But the grand opening of City Park will be at 1 o'clock there. Again, if you're in town and available to come, we're going to just have, I think, popsicles and be there to do a little ribbon cutting ceremony. Then the ice cream socials on July 22nd. That is a senior event here at Radcliffe. We've got a board game day on July 23rd. August 1st, Escanaba in the Moonlight, a senior trip. And a barbecue in the park on August 9th. Those are a few highlights.
Thank
So
you.
if we went to the ice cream social, it would be okay to wear our shirts?
Yeah?
Only if you behave yourself.
Only if I.
Only.
Are some of these?
And when you're, here's a question for you, a quiz. If you're wearing your shirts, can you tell people to vote yes for the bond?
No.
No.
Right.
No.
What can you do?
Give them information.
Yeah, give them
You
information.
can only give them information.
Yeah. You guys got it.
No
Perfect.
strong arming.
Right.
Right, information and education. And what were you, did you say so?
Is the ice cream social just for seniors?
I believe it's open for everybody.
And then board game day and barbecue in the park, are those for everybody too?
Yeah, I think the August 9th is like a senior luncheon barbecue in the park, but I don't believe like do we restrict? We do, so.
It's what senior lunch,
So-
they pay for it, they buy tickets for it,
Okay.
How much is it?
$10 per.
Where's it at, the big pavilion?
Mhm.
We're
Yeah.
seniors.
Yeah.
What about the ice cream?
Okay. I was told it's senior, but don't buy what I say.
Well, we're just asking.
Well,
If you don't know,
I just
that's
was
good.
told it was a senior.
Yeah, then it probably is. It's Danielle's event, so,
It's listed in the senior booklet out there.
Section,
as a
yeah.
senior event.
yeah.
And when does senior start at?
Yeah, 55?
50.
55 or 50?
I know I should know these things.
Huh?
Gym at 50.
I think 50 is what the city
50.
classifies.
Isn't the gym 50?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a couple more years.
That's a young senior.
So what time did you say Florence Park you're gonna be there?
6 p.m.
Oh, 6.
Watch, you're gonna have everyone show up.
And then the only final request I have is if you're willing to take a couple signs with you to put in one of your, or a park. I think we were doing a little before the meeting, trying to divvy them up,
Did you,
to get them out.
were you here when we were talking about the signs for the parks?
No, I can't be in on the
So your park is which one?
Mola.
So
So
we talked
he would
about
get
3
3
signs for Moeller, Florence Park 2, which Sharon will take.
You would get
City
3
Park,
signs.
we've got 9 signs.
9?
I'll put 2 in Kiwanis.
2 at Kiwanis,
What do you
2
have
at
for
Helen, 2 at Manor, 2 at Arcola, 3 at Rotary. So,
City Park, right.
that's all I've got.
I can take you for Rotary if you want. I mean, I'm going right there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, and you know where we decided, right, at the bathrooms and then the playground area?
You could probably put
Where
one
to
by
put
the
the
street
signs.
too,
Right.
if there's 3 going there.
If there's 3 going,
Oh,
we can
those
do.
3?
Yeah,
Okay.
they said there's 3, so we'll put
Perfect.
one by the cliff.
Because there's that sidewalk right there
Yeah.
when people walk by.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Over there.
Okay,
I haven't seen it.
commissioner comments. Let's start with you, Dennis.
No comment.
Sharon,
I'm kind of excited about Thursday. See what
There you go.
happens.
Me too.
me too.
Well, I have been
Robert?
talking to some of my neighbors, just about the bond, to see what they say.
Yeah.
And their main concern is, well, they have to pay more on their tax. I said, well, I think it's a good investment for the city, my opinion. And I'm Mr. Tightwad, I don't want to throw any money away. I think I'm gonna vote for it. That's what I was telling my neighbors. So some of them kind of iffy about, how much am I gonna have to pay? Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about it, but I think the thing is that, I guess the way to answer that to me would have been, yeah, it's gonna be somewhere between 100 and it's based on your home value.
Right.
The other thing you have to remember is it's over an 8-year period. And the other thing you have to remember is over an 8-year period, the value that you're gonna
That's
gain on your home is going to be more than what you're gonna pay over the 8-year period. Because you can look around at a lot of places where they've invested in their parks and stuff like that, the home values have gone up. Because people wanna go where there's parks and rec,
Right.
they wanna go where the parks are the nicest, and that's some of the things that people look for.
But can we say that?
Yeah, just be careful with, the recommendation, because, people have the right to choose not, if you don't want to spend your money like that, that is their choice,
Right.
And all we can do is point them to the website and say, if you want to find out how much this will cost you, here's how you do it, right? Because you can go and see your assessed value, and they can find out for themselves how much that would be. And I think that's the best thing to do, is let people make that decision for themselves.
Just basically tell them that.
And, I agree with you, of course, we know the information's out there, that home values go up when you're near parks. When you invest in parks, it's improved, keeps the family, there's a lot of things it does. But, not everybody has those same values, and so the best we can do is try to provide the information for them and let them decide.
Educate.
And educate. Yeah.
Okay, John. All right.
John?
I have 2 things, believe it or not. Question, do you know, is it legal for us to have a sign-in sheet for the public when they come to one of our meetings? Can you find that out?
You mean just have a sign-in,
For the public?
if they come and talk to us?
No,
No,
if they come
show
to
up.
our meeting.
I don't think, no.
You mean, wait, I'm sorry, is it legal to have it, or to not
Can we-
require?
Well, can we
Take attendance and?
take attendance of the audience?
No.
No, I do not think that.
so.
Okay.
That
They wanna
is.
speak.
Only if they
People
speak,
can come, if they
right.
want to speak, they need to give their name and their address,
Right.
but people can just attend and be anonymous.
Okay, all right. I needed to find that out. There's a reason I asked that question.
I'm sure there
I'm not
is.
saying that she-
No, really,
I
because
know.
if you listen to some of these meetings that are going on, some of the things that are being said, I would like to track if that person was at a meeting or not and then making that comment. That is one of the reasons I said that. You're right, but if they're making free speech and they're not here and they're saying they were and they're not, that's a different story. Oh,
Then we go to
you
jail.
know our
Yeah.
parks are only for a year, right? And then we change.
Yes.
Yes,
think-
Okay.
yeah, I sent her the format
Okay.
of,
Gotcha. All right, that's all I have.
okay. I'm gonna skip by me, I'm gonna go to Kate.
If you have not watched the council meeting yesterday, I would recommend you do so.
I'm going
It's
to.
very informative. The roof, it's very curious. So as you get information, would you mind just
Sure.
putting it on our agenda if you have
Yeah,
something to report
absolutely.
on? Okay. I'm happy that it's progressing.
Yeah.
It's much needed.
Yep.
And also T-Lab, I'm curious to see what happens with them. So.
Yeah, and I guess I could have included, I am involved in the Radcliffe Budget Workshop because we're going back into all the grant, all the money. So I'm working on that with other parts of the city to provide transparency, right?
Are we allowed
So-
to attend the workshop also?
Yeah,
That,
of course.
I think Councilwoman
yeah.
Dold was.
Yeah, July 9th.
July 9th.
Yeah, that will be open.
And where's that gonna be?
City Hall.
Okay.
I do have another question, since you brought up T-Lab. Since they've paid nothing, correct?
I wouldn't say
Or-
they've paid nothing.
They
But
haven't-
they're very
they haven't
behind,
paid-
yes.
They're very behind.
Yeah.
So the equipment that they put in there, who does that belong to when they're behind on payment? Is it still theirs?
I
Or do we
believe
have any
Schoolcraft and
Or do we have any
T-Lab were
legalities to
in
that?
that thing together, so I don't know the details of that. you know, right now, I think we have through July to see what comes through. There's, you know, a lot of words being said that trying to get the funding through. If that does not happen, then we will move to the next step of following through on, you know, eviction process or, you know,
So they have the
termination
till
of
the end
the lease.
of July? End or,
Yeah, through at the end of July.
okay.
And so if we don't see anything, then we will move forward in that process of terminating.
That's all I have.
Anything else? Jen?
No, nothing for you.
Okay, so, I went to the, I don't even know the name of it, on June 17th, they had the car show. across
Autism
over
for
at-
Autism.
Yes,
Autism?
yeah, Autism for Autism. It was a really nice event. There were a lot of people, a lot of people. It was really, really nice. And on Saturday, I went down to the, they had the fire truck at Rotary Park. And I went down to that event. And I took some pictures, in case you're interested, if you would like them. The kids were, I mean, it was a hot day. The kids were, I mean, there's a part of the lawn that is now like a swimming pool because the kids were just going in and they were going down because it was just so much water. But they were having a ball. It was a great event.
Did you wear your shirt?
I did not wear, no, I did wear my shirt. I did, as a matter of fact.
I love it.
You know, the firemen were there, the policemen were there. I saw Mike's always, all of those events. It was nice. It was really nice. And I think that's all I have. So can we get, we don't need a motion to adjourn, do we?
Yeah, we gotta have a
We
motion to
do?
adjourn. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's all right.
Good night.